Linda from Lindy-Lou Pottery. I live in northwest Tasmania here in Australia, and today, well yesterday, I'm going to go through, we had a market yesterday, Christmas market, and I'll go through our sales and what pieces we sold, the dollars we took, and then I want to go through like prices of my pieces, so the range of pottery that I sell. And also, which has been quite exciting, just the last sort of 2 weeks, my online sales have picked up. So I thought I'll go through what's sold on my website sort of in the last week and a half, because that's gone quite good too. So I'll get started. So we had a market yesterday. It's at Latrobe. So Latrobe is it's only about 15 minutes from home, and it's 9:30 till 1:30, so fantastic hours. We get there at 7:30, and Gary could come with me. He didn't have bowls yesterday, so that was amazing. We get there at 7:30, and I'm usually already set up by 8:30. You know, within the hour I'm done. I do a very basic setup, as I've said before. With I keep it simple, because of the rheumatoid arthritis if Gary's not with me. So I don't have shelving and all the beautiful things that you can have on your tables. I just put them all out there. Got my nice tablecloths now. I've got two new tablecloths coming. I think they come today, so in a darker colour, so I can go between the two. So my setup's really basic. Just put them out on the table and group together. So I just group all my swirls together, bowls, and I find that works for me. So yesterday, so 9:30 till 1:30, great hours. It's such, it's long enough for us. I just think it's a fantastic finishing at 1:30, and it's not too early like the 9:30 market start. Get there at 7:30, so that's amazing. So yesterday, I'll just go through our sales first up. So, okay, we sold 27 pieces. And I've got to say, Latrobe's only about 15 minutes away from where we live, and Latrobe's our quieter market. So we do the Latrobe and we do the Port Surrell, and it's run by the two amazing people, and they do both markets, so we just stick with them. So the Latrobe one's our quieter market. But so yesterday, 27 pieces, and Australian dollars, $1,085. So that was amazing. So I'll go through what we sold. We sold 5 of the ice cream bowls, or small bowls. So 5 of these sold. And they range from $15 to $20, depending what's on them. The mugs sold 11 mugs, which was pretty good. Like I've said, on a good day, we can sell up to 30 mugs. But to be honest, my range, I need to make more and more mugs. So 11 mugs was great for, I probably had maybe 25 mugs, or like, I'm not trying to have 40 or 50. So I didn't have a lot of mugs. So I sold 11 mugs, and sold three swirl bowls, 3 of them. One, I call them a flat bowl. 1 flat bowl. And then 1 chip and dip wavy. So sold 1 of these. And what else have we got here? 5 whiskey tumblers. So 5. And a fluted bowl. I haven't done one of them for a while, so that was sort of been there for a little while. But I sold a fluted bowl, so I was really happy that I want to make some more of them, because I quite like them. So that was our sales for the day. So happy, and met beautiful people. And one lady, and I want to mention her on my next kiln opening, she watches me on YouTube, and she lives on the east coast of Tasmania, and her name was Andrea, and she drove to come and see me. I think it was like 2 hours each way, so like 4 hours to come and say hello. And she was so beautiful, and she did get a beautiful wavy chip and dip bowl and some whiskey tumblers. But oh, that was amazing. And I just met some really, really beautiful people yesterday. And another thing that happened was I was there, and because I've moved up from the Huon Valley, and we're about 3.5 hours away from Hobart, 3.5 to 4 hours, and just a really close friend of mine was up that way. She had no idea I was at that market that day, and walked in, and I hadn't seen her for 2 years since I moved from the Huon. So that was magical to see Alan. It was an amazing moment. Okay, so that was the market. I'm going to go through some prices because I know that can help some people. And when I only started doing markets July this year, and pricing my pieces was a really hard thing. And what I found is I started really cheap. And I know I did, and that was okay, and sold a lot because I was cheap. And so I've slowly just moved them up to find where they're still selling at and what the right price is, because as we know, like the cost of our pottery, in Australia, so a bit different here. Like our glazes are $50 to $60, $70 for the little tub, so our glazings are unbelievably expensive, and our clay, so Gary's just driven into Hobart today, so it's 8 hours just to pick up our clay. So we don't have any pottery supplies in Tasmania, except we can get clay in Hobart. And I get my glazes online, usually from New Zealand, sometimes in Australia, but mostly from CCG New Zealand. So, you know, the costs are quite expensive. So I've just sort of found where my pieces sell at. So I'll start with, okay, my ice cream bowls, there you go. So I do them anywhere from $15 to $20, which is, I think, is really cheap, but they're a really nice little bowl, and I like that it's affordable. And same with my little heart trinkets. I just do them for $5 because I like that I've got, you know, a little price point like that. So like my Christmas decks, $5. Anything like that I try and keep around $5. My spoon rest I just do for $10. Another little cheap little bargain, you know, a useful little piece that you can have in your house. And even these our beautiful peony candles, I sell these for $10, but I'm thinking of doing, I've just got some out drying there, maybe 15 for the next lot. But, you know, I'll see how they go. But $10 I've been doing these for with the candle. And so that's what I sell the peonies for. So $10 to $15, so I'll find the right price between there. So that's the little things. Whiskey tumblers, I just do a straight $30 for the whiskey tumblers, and the mugs I do between like $35 for one mug or two for $60, and I think that's a really reasonable price for mugs. I know you can get a lot more, but you know, I'm quite happy with that, and I love that, you know, my mugs are really popular, and I sell, you know, good amount of mugs. So that's my price. And when you think about when my kiln, I've only got a 65 litre, so there's 4 shelves I've got to play with. So I have a schedule that I work to, and on my schedule I just follow it, and it's just got making of kiln firing. So I make my pieces to a kiln firing schedule. So for an example, it'd be one kiln firing be 8 mugs. So I get 8 mugs on a shelf. Shelf number 2 be swirl platter. Shelf number 3 be, say, a flat bowl. And shelf number 4 might be a, let's think, like a, you know, a round platter with bowl attached. So they're the pieces that will go in that one kiln firing. And then I just change the kiln firings to different pieces, but I try and always have a shelf of 8 mugs or 10 tumblers fit on a shelf, or 10 peony candles will fit on a shelf, or 4 ice cream bowls will fit on a shelf. And then I have my large pieces in there. And that's what works for me. So I've gone through the pricing of the small things. So my swirl bowls, which is I think they're my best seller, or up there with my best sellers. So they vary from $85, and I've even, like 2 of them yesterday were $95, and that just depends on the glaze and what's in, you know, it's really glazing. So $85 to $95 for my swirl bowls, and they are up there with my best sellers with I call them a flat bowl. They're not really that flat, but that's what I call them, a flat bowl, and they same price, $85 to $95, just depending on, you know, what they look like with the glazing and how they've come out. $85 to $95. And these have just come popular, but it is summer here in Australia and coming into Christmas, so I have been selling these. These are just do a flat $85. they're a good size, like platter with attached dip bowl, $85. And also my wavy chip and dip bowls are $85. And they're really, I think they're a good price. Really good price. And then these little ones here, these will vary. So it's your platter and dip bowl. So a set. And they're 65 to, I think $65 to $75 I put on them. Depending how they come out, like what the glazing's like. But 65 to 75. And I've just got a couple more things. So when I do so I've got my leaf bowl or my rose bowl or my petal bowl. They're the three sort of, you know, a little bit different things. So rose bowl, petal bowl, leaf bowl, I've got $85 on them. So I think that's okay. And then the last piece I'll show you is my my large, you know, my large wavies, and they're either on a pedestal or like this. And I was doing them at 95, so I ranged these now between 95, and it's the first time I've gone over 100, but to 120. So I'll just see, because there's a lot of glaze in the peacock, you know, depending on the glazing. So between 95 and 120. So that's my most expensive piece, and that's pretty much it with my range that I make. I'm pretty sure. So that's all my pricing. And so in the last sort of fortnight, within the fortnight, because I think probably last week and a half, my website sales have gone pretty good. So I have sold, let me go back, okay, a pair of whiskey tumblers online. I got that last week. Now with the postage, it's really hard on my website setup. I just do a flat postage of $26. So $26 will cover, you know, the mugs and the whiskey tumblers, but the larger pieces is more like $35, $36. So it's sort of in between, you know, and it just sort of works itself out. So I do a flat rate $26 in Australia, that postage. The other countries I've just worked out same sort of thing, but in those dollars, if that makes sense. So I did sell a pair of whiskey tumblers last week, which went up to Queensland, up to one of the islands. And then a sale come through for Victoria of one of my large wavy bowls. And then I got an order for one of my large pedestal bowls. That went to Tasmania, down Hobart Way. And then I got an order for a pair of mugs in Tasmania and a pair of mugs up Queensland. So that was sort of within the week, 7 to 10 days. So I thought, oh wow, that's exciting. So a few sales on my website. So that's really good. And I guess like using your Instagram, your Facebook and your YouTube and I don't know, just trying to get yourself out there a bit. And it takes a bit of work, but I think it's all worth it in the end, especially if you love doing it. So that's the main thing. So hopefully my video helps someone out there with pricing or market. So that was really good takings, but it is, I must admit, the Latrobe market, the worst, I shouldn't say the worst, the least dollars we've taken or sales is 400. We usually average 700, and then I didn't know what to expect being the last one for the year in a Christmas market, and what was it, $1,095, $1,100 say. So that was really good. And then, so that's the Latrobe market. The Banksia market, which we're at in a fortnight, that's where we've never done under $1,000. So that's our good market. We usually sit between, $1,300 to $1,500. So it'd be interesting what the Christmas market will do in a fortnight. So I can't wait to share that with you. And it really just covers, as you know, being able to keep doing what we love. So buying the glazes and you know, the cost with the clay and the electricity and we all know it's quite an expensive thing to do. So it's just exciting to be able to do the markets, get some money back to keep doing it. That's what I love. And I should really say I love, and I know we all do, our pieces being out there in so many people's lives and their homes. So that's really the greatest thing too. I love that. There's so many of Lindy-Lou pieces out there. So, well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope it helps someone, and really hope you have the best day ever. Thank you. Bye-bye.